I'm Ava Langford, 48, the woman who quietly rebuilt the Langford fortune while they perfected their acceptance speeches. From the terrace, the Skyview Gala glowed like inherited privilege, city lights glittering below, lobster towers, applause timed to perfection. Inside, I knew every fault line, who masked contempt with clinking glasses, whose toast concealed calculation. My mother-in-law, Victoria, directed every social current. My father-in-law, Harlan, retreated behind his anecdotes. Husband Connor monitored trades on his burner app. Sister-in-law Elise savored her Prosecco with a triumphant glint, like she'd finally maneuvered me off the board. I'd single-handedly revived Harlan's collapsing maritime logistics arm after the trade wars. 19 months of dawn-to-midnight negotiations, rerouting fleets, renegotiating union deals that saved 480 jobs. I'd silently covered the family's would-be island estate taxes when offshore accounts imploded. I'd funded Elise's failing vineyard for 6 harvests. All undocumented, uncelebrated because loyalty, I thought, didn't need applause. Victoria loved proclaiming, "A true Langford woman safeguards the legacy." She simply guaranteed I was the only one doing the safeguarding while everyone else posed for photos. When she demoted me to guest services, the legacy finally choked me awake. I released the bracelet, his gift, selected more for lineage than love, and let it sink into his creamy risotto. Then I resigned from the legacy, I said, words slicing the stunned silence. The quartet faltered. Connor's chuckle died. Victoria's flute wavered. I walked out past hushed murmurs and lifted phones, stride measured, heartbeat thunderous. On the winding descent through evergreens, Puget Sound sparkling below, the chain snapped. Not sorrow, but the exhilarating rush of ownership. They'd just handed me the freedom to stop pretending. I'd felt the ambush brewing in the micro-demotions. Connor calling my salvage firm, your pet project. Victoria introducing me as Connor's wife, who enjoys consulting, while flashing the pearl choker I'd bought after erasing their liens. The night I overheard Connor on speaker. The guest services band at the gala will finally teach her rank. Victoria's delighted murmur. Brilliant. Even the sharpest staff should stay off the dais. I'd already assembled the arsenal. Years of flagging irregularities in Connor's private equity fund, yacht charters logged as market research, watches billed to portfolio companies, offshore wires that carried someone else's lipstick. I'd archived it all in a drive labeled Reckoning. While they rehearsed my marginalization, I rehearsed their unraveling. The morning after, I dispatched the whistleblower dossier, anonymous, airtight, to regulators, the partnership, and key investors. By lunch, Connor's capital calls were rejected. By evening, the fund unraveled under forensic audits. By quarter's end, the Langford name was radioactive in Seattle finance. Elise appeared at my new Pioneer Square office 5 months later, coat unlabeled, eyes raw. "I'm done," she said, offering lattes. We sat on the floor amid blueprints, watching ferries cross the Sound. She confessed how Victoria tried to chain her with continuity, how the gala became myth. The night the Langfords learned reputation isn't inherited, it's maintained. Langford Revival Partners soared, specializing in maritime turnarounds across the Pacific Northwest. Clients came from Tacoma, Portland, ports that still moved real cargo. They wanted survival, not silver spoons. Connor's collapse was muted, stakes forfeited, name erased from the tower, back to renting a condo from college buddies. Victoria lost the Medina waterfront, the Opera Guild, the circle that once deferred. Last sighting, Outlet Mall, no entourage. Some evenings I pace my quiet office, ferries whistling below. On the wall, elegantly framed, hangs the guest services wristband, my proudest artifact. Visitors always ask. I smile. They try to confine me to support staff. Turns out that's the perfect position to pull the plug on the whole show. That wristband wasn't exclusion. It was emancipation. I lead only at tables I set, surrounded by people who value the builder, not just the blueprint. If you've ever been sidelined in your own empire, type, "I'm claiming the head seat below." Like, subscribe. These stories of reclaiming your crown might hand you the gavel.